It's early and it's cold. I'm headed out to milk the cow. She's used to that milker being put on every morning. But now I'm hand milking again. And I wouldn't mind so much if I got to choose to hand milk, but I got kind of forced into hand milking recently. And I'll tell you why. Yesterday morning, I was trying to get everything done and ready and get inside to get ready for church, and my milker wouldn't go. Something is frozen. It was like 12 degrees night before last, and so yesterday morning was really cold. This morning it's like in the low 20s, so it's pretty cold. And I thought maybe there was just like a little bit of condensation in the end where the hose hooks onto for the air. And so I brought a hairdryer out here and tried to melt it. That didn't work. I had to run back inside and wash up one of my hand milking buckets, bring it out here and hand milk my cow. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. My barn here is uninsulated. This hay will give the chickens something to scratch in and have fun in, and also something to eat. They like to eat hay, just like they eat grass out in the pasture during the summer. So this is a win-win for all of us. This was really cheap hay, so it works out great to use this for bedding. Done with the milking for this morning. It did warm up a little bit since that time I had to go out there and hand milk, so I was able to use my milker again this morning, but I am going to need to get something around that milker so that I can keep using it. So I want to get that done today after I strain this milk and eat some breakfast. She isn't getting quite as much these days. This will make 2 and a little over a half gallons. Hopefully that means she's pregnant, and that is another thing that I need to do. I need to do another pregnancy test today because it's been over 4 weeks since I got her bred the last time. I didn't notice any signs of heat this time, so it's looking good. All done eating. Yeah, we're all done. Silly. Now this milk goes into the freezer for about an hour to cool it off better. I was trying to look up safe heaters to put in my barn by the milker to keep it warm. And this is something that came up. It's like a chicken coop heater. It looks like a computer monitor or TV or something. Pretty much just this front of this, it's a radiant heat. There's one review that people showed a picture that it like melted. Sounds like it had an electrical issue or something. That doesn't sound good, but otherwise has really high reviews. It looks like it would be safe because there's nothing here that could start a fire, and that's what I'm worried about because it's gonna be in my barn. So this right here is my temporary setup. Basically, I just piled insulation on top of it, and I brought a heater out here, and on really cold mornings, I turn the heater on. I want to actually close this in right here with a 2x4 frame with the insulation stapled inside of it, and then hang that heater up inside and put it on a thermostat that basically is just gonna keep it right above freezing. But before we do that, I wanna take the blood sample to do a pregnancy test for Maddie because I really want to know if she's pregnant. So I just did a video recently on how to do this pregnancy test, so I'm not going to go over all that again, but I do want to talk about why this is so important. About 7 weeks ago, we got her bred. She was in heat, we got her bred, and then 4 weeks after that, we did a pregnancy test. She did not test positive. It looked like she had been in heat again, so I did have the AI tech come out here just in case and breed her again. So now it's 4 weeks after that second time, and I didn't see her go into heat after that, so that's a good sign, but we need to check and make sure that she's pregnant, because if she's not, then we're really sunk. The later it goes, the later in the year that calf is gonna be born, and I really wanted my calf to be born in the spring. I'm already pushing into like early summer, I think, with this one. So we're gonna have to test this and see, and what's really bad about it is that I didn't notice any signs of heat like a week ago. And so if we missed that heat and she's still not pregnant and we have to wait till another heat, it just keeps getting later and later, and that really stinks. It takes about 20 minutes after you put the blood on the test to be able to get the reading off of it. So I'm gonna pull the blood and put it on the test and have it inside and set the timer because we wanna look as soon as we can, but then we'll be able to get out here and get our supplies ready to build the little igloo around the milker while we're waiting on it. Come on, get out. Go, go, go. Here's our pregnancy test. This thing is so cool because we can just do it here at home with the blood sample that we got. We don't have to send anything off anywhere. You're supposed to turn it over a few more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we put the blood down in there, and then there's this wash solution that you're supposed to put in. We'll come back and check it in 20 minutes. See if Maddie is finally pregnant. You may not look at it before it's time to actually look, okay? Okay, Izzy, we're gonna have to find some 2x4s to build that thing by the milker. Here, Izzy. That's the timer. We can go check the pregnancy test. Oh man, I just really hope she's pregnant. So this right here is what it says. If it's 2 lines, positive, only 1 line, it's negative. So we hope for 2 lines. Haven't looked at it yet. We're gonna look at it on camera. Shelly gets to look. You wanna grab it? What does it say?
Feels so powerful.
What does it say?
What does it say?
Eden, is there 1 line or 2?
There is 1 line.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Just 1 teeny tiny line. So discouraging. So now we're just like
So now you
way
missed her
behind.
last heat cycle.
Missed her last heat cycle. We're gonna have to get her bred again. That's gonna be the 3rd straw that I've used. And they come out at like $40 a straw. So if we would catch her next heat cycle, which would be in like 2 weeks, we would be at about the end of December. So that would be all the way till next September until she has a calf instead of like May or April. So I've got my frame done here. It's not very square. It's not usually how I build stuff, but for something like this, it just doesn't really matter. The interesting part is putting this insulation in. I'm gonna have to try to get in behind there and staple it to the wall and then staple it to this frame. This is just some scrap double bubble foil insulation, whatever that my father-in-law had. You know, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to put the insulation on the wall before I built the frame. Just saying. Claustrophobic. That was not fun. I legit started getting claustrophobic there. I'm about out of staples too. That wouldn't be good. So I've got the insulation all around it now. Don't have it on the top because I want to put the heater in there first. I'm going to go ahead and hang the heater in there. And then the thermostat's going to have to be mounted in here too. That's hanging on there again proper. I'm going to put screws right on top of there so it can't lift up off of there. Just for the record, don't look to me that I'm some kind of certified electrician with this stuff because it really needs an outlet in there. But this is what I've got to work with. This is what I'm going to do. Temporarily, I'm going to strap this thermostat to this board, screw the board inside there, and then it'll plug into the extension cord until I get that outlet put in there. That's strapped on there nice and tight. It ain't going anywhere. This thermostat goes down to 41 degrees. I wish it could go lower, but this is only going to be used when it gets really cold, so it's not like it's going to be going all the time. This will get screwed onto the inside of there, plug the extension cord into the back, and then the heater into the front. We'll be ready to go as soon as we get this insulation on the top. So it's not all perfect, but I think it'll work great. I've seen some people that say that they use just a heat lamp, shine right on it. It really wasn't cold enough this morning to need to have this heater going. It's about 32, 33 degrees, but I wanted to test it out before it does get too cold so I don't get let down and end up coming out here and it not work. And then I have to hand milk and I wasn't prepared for it. So anyways, let's open it up, see how warm it is in there. So the thermostat is off. The red light's there, so that means that it doesn't need to run to keep up with the thermostat. I actually put the thermostat up extra high. I've got a thermometer here, and it's at about 42 degrees, so looking good. The real test will be once it gets down into the single digits, and it will get that cold around here this winter. So once it does, and we see how the heater does over there, I'll give you an update about it then.